Picture two people. Same salary, same city, same university degree hanging on the wall. On paper, their lives are identical. But at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, one of them is lying in bed doing mental math, running the same calculation they've run 100 times before. Will the account clear before payday? Which bill can wait 3 more days? Is there anything they forgot? They've become so good at this calculation they can do it half asleep, except they can't sleep. That's the problem. The other person hasn't checked their bank balance in nearly 3 weeks, not because they're reckless, not because they're rich, but because they already know what's there, and they know it's enough. They closed their eyes at 10:30 and were gone by 10:31. Same income, same city, same starting point. One person is financially free, the other is financially exhausted. And here is the part that should stop you cold. This has almost nothing to do with how much they earn. It's not about luck, background, or some financial talent one person was born with and the other never did. It's about a small number of money rules that one person learned and the other simply never did. That's it. That's the whole difference. Today, I'm going to give you those rules, not a 40-step financial overhaul, not a complicated investment strategy, just the few fundamentals that make financial struggle almost impossible to maintain once you actually understand them, regardless of what your salary looks like right now. Here's something most people never stop to question. When money feels tight, the instinct is always the same. I need to earn more. So people chase overtime, chase promotions, take on side work, and then wait for the relief that's supposed to come with extra income. And sometimes it comes, for about 3 months. And then somehow, some way, it's tight again. Different number, same feeling. That experience isn't bad luck, it's a pattern. And the pattern exists because financial struggle almost never comes from insufficient income. It comes from a broken system, or more accurately, from having no system at all. Most people's relationship with money has 4 massive leaks in it, and they spend their lives patching one while the other 3 drain everything back out. The first leak is zero gap between earning and spending. The moment income arrives, a percentage leaves immediately, automatically, into a separate account. Not what's left over after bills, not whatever remains on the 28th of the month, the very first transaction. The reason most people save almost nothing is because they save what's left over, and what's left over is almost always close to zero. Spending naturally expands to fill available money. That's not a character flaw, it's just how it works. The fix is structural, automatic, non-negotiable. Even if it starts at 5%, the amount matters far less than the habit you're building. You are teaching your financial system that your future is not an afterthought. It comes first. Rule 2. Give every rupee a name before the month begins. Money without a destination disappears. Not because you're careless, but because unassigned money is psychologically available for everything, and life will always generate a reason to spend what feels available. Before each month starts, every rupee of expected income gets a job: rent, food, transport, savings, investment, a discretionary amount that is genuinely yours to spend however you want, but a limited amount. That limit is the entire point. This isn't budgeting in the punishing, restrictive sense. It's deciding in advance instead of explaining afterward. One shift in timing that changes everything. Rule 3. Build a wall between yourself and financial crisis. A single unexpected expense should not be able to collapse your financial stability. But right now, for most people, it can, and that single vulnerability is the source of more ongoing financial stress than almost anything else. Before you optimize anything else, before you start investing aggressively, you need 3 to 6 months of essential expenses sitting in a separate account that you simply do not touch. It doesn't earn impressive returns, it earns something better. It removes fear from your financial life. You stop making desperate decisions because you stop being in desperate situations. Rule 4. Know the difference between an asset and a lifestyle. Everything you spend money on does one of two things over time. It either puts money back into your pocket or it takes money out. Assets do the first. Lifestyle expenses do the second. Neither category is wrong. You need both. But most people accumulate lifestyle expenses while genuinely believing they're building wealth. The rule is simply to be conscious about which category a purchase falls into, and to make sure that over time, more of your money moves toward the first one. That ratio, assets versus lifestyle, determines your financial future far more than your income does. Rule 5. Never make a financial decision at full emotional temperature. The most expensive decisions most people ever make happened while they were excited, anxious, resentful, or trying to feel something. The car bought to feel successful. The upgrade made to feel stable. The purchase made to feel better after a brutal week. Emotion is remarkably good at manufacturing logic. It will hand you 10 perfectly reasonable justifications in 30 seconds. The rule is a mandatory pause. Any non-essential purchase above a threshold that feels meaningful to you waits 48 to 72 hours before you act on it. Not to deprive yourself, just to let the temperature drop so your actual judgment can show up. Most purchases that survive that pause were genuinely worth making. Most that don't were never really about the thing itself. Rule 6. Let time do the heavy lifting. Compound growth is the only thing in personal finance that works while you're sleeping, while you're on holiday, while you're busy living your life. But it needs one thing from you: time. Not perfect timing, not the ideal investment, just starting earlier than feels necessary and staying longer than feels exciting. The person who starts investing a modest amount at 25 will, in almost any realistic scenario, end up with more than someone who invests twice as much starting at 40. That extra decade is worth more than the doubled amount, not because of magic, because of math. Start before you feel ready. You will never feel perfectly ready. Readiness is a feeling, not a financial condition. Rule 7. Guard the gap between income and lifestyle. Every time your income grows, something very powerful quietly suggests your lifestyle should grow with it. A raise deserves a better car. A promotion deserves a nicer apartment. It feels like reward. It is actually the most reliable wealth destruction pattern that exists. The people who genuinely build financial security over time share one consistent habit. When their income rises, their lifestyle rises slowly or not at all. The gap between what they earn and what they spend grows wider. That gap is the engine. Without it, no income level produces real security. Each time your income increases, decide in advance, before the money arrives and excitement takes over, what percentage goes to your life now and what percentage goes to your future. That one decision, made calmly and in advance, is worth more than any investment strategy you'll ever read about. Here is what I want you to understand about all of this. Financial struggle is not really a money problem, it's a clarity problem. The people who sleep soundly at night aren't operating from some superior discipline or rare financial talent. They simply have a clear relationship with money. They know what it's for, they know where it goes, they know what they're building, and that clarity creates something that no income level can buy on its own: the quiet, unshakable sense that you're going to be okay. That feeling is what most people are actually chasing when they chase more money. But more money without clarity just produces more chaos at a higher number. These rules work in a cycle. Follow them and you build security. Security reduces the anxiety that drives impulsive spending. Less impulsive spending builds security faster. Each rotation reinforces the next one. It compounds. not just in your account, but in how you feel about money. The opposite cycle is just as consistent. No structure creates insecurity. Insecurity drives emotional spending. Emotional spending deepens insecurity. Most people living inside that cycle know something is wrong, but can't identify what, because from inside it, it feels like an income problem. It isn't. It's a structure problem. These rules are the structure. Those two people from the beginning, same salary, same city, same starting point. The one who sleeps at night didn't stumble into some windfall. They didn't find a shortcut. They learned a small number of rules early enough that those rules had time to do their work, not just financially, but in how they think and feel about money. They stopped fighting it. They started directing it. The one lying awake doing mental math at 2 a.m. isn't failing because they're weak. They're failing because nobody gave them a system. They're doing their best inside a structure that was never designed to produce the outcome they want. Both of those people exist in you right now. Every financial decision you make is a vote for which version of you shows up in 5 years. You don't need a bigger salary to stop struggling. You need a clearer system. And now you have one. If this changed how you think about money, I have another video that goes deeper on exactly how to set up Rule 2 in real life, giving every rupee a destination before the month begins. Most people skip that step and then wonder why the other rules never seem to stick. Watch that next.